Yesterday, we got the surprise world premiere trailer for Star Wars Outlaws, and today we got to see about 10 minutes of gameplay. After the main presentation, there was also a developer commentary that shared some more insight into what we can expect to experience in 2024. Everything kicks off at the end of one of the game's quests as Kay and Nix steal an artifact from the Pike Syndicate. Nix is described as Kay's only family, and he's a creature called a Mercall. They attempt to escape the Pike Chop Shop, which is a fun little location. You can see an A-Wing and a Mining Guild TIE fighter scattered throughout the warehouse, which I thought was cool, but I really loved the stealth element we got to see almost immediately. I loved the Star Wars Jedi games, but I wish there was a stealth option to approach some of the action. I love playing Uncharted and The Last of Us or Spider-Man, all of which offer players the chance to quietly take out enemies one by one. I almost always mess it up and have to eventually rely on my weapons, but stealth gameplay is fun to me. Nix acting as a similar companion to BD-1 is great. The little critter can attack or distract enemies, fetch objects for Kay, help her reach new areas, or like we see in the gameplay, covertly activate switches to help her sneak around. But just like I'm sure will happen when I play, Kay is discovered and has to blast her way out of the compound. Her blaster has different abilities for different situations, like one configuration seems to offer a stronger shot to take down energy shields faster, there's a standard mode of course, and you can activate stun, which I'm excited about for the stealth aspect. There will be more modules you can add or upgrade over the course of the story. It looks like you just have to worry about Kay's blaster overheating, similar to the Battlefront games, or you can use enemy weapons, which look like they have limited ammunition. And of course, there are red barrels to blow up, and they explode just like Rhydonium should, as seen in the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, very colorful. Outside, the speeder chase was great fun. Kay seamlessly hops onto the bike and takes off. You can see a boost meter in the bottom right, and I think the white bars symbolize health. The combat seemed like fun, but we didn't get to see a ton of it. After escaping the Pikes, you can see Kay's reputation with their syndicate go down. There was a lot of talk in the presentation about reputation and influence. It sounds like missions from the Pikes will now be blocked off from Kay for a while since she was seen stealing from them. But if she got away without being seen, her reputation probably wouldn't have been damaged, so you'll get to forge alliances with multiple syndicates throughout the game. The Pikes, of course, have been seen, the Hutts were mentioned, and there's a new syndicate for the game called the Ashiga clan. I'm hoping there will be even more to come. The moon, called Toshara, seems cool. It's an awful lot like Kobo from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, but that's fine. Kay reaches a settlement called Janta's Hope, and it sounds like every planet will have a hub like this. Again, kind of like Rambler's Reach and Survivor. But it sounds like every planet in Outlaws will have a hub like this with a cantina and probably some other key spots. We'll probably activate quests here and then head out on our speeder bike to carry them out. And this sounds like a good time to talk about the three types of locations we'll see in this game. We've got vast, open frontier areas like Toshara, there will be dense, populated cities like Kajimi, and then space itself will be a location we can explore. It's not just for getting from one planet to another, there will be secrets and rewards to discover in orbit above the various planets. Back on Toshara, Kay meets up with ND5 in the cantina. He is described as a veteran of the Clone Wars turned enforcer for the underworld, which definitely sounds like it describes the droid Gotra. His relationship with Kay reminds me of Dash Rendar and Lebo a bit, which I like. In a meeting with her employer, Kay is presented with a choice in front of the Empire: give in to her corruption and bribe her, or decline and make her an enemy. I assume this is just another way reputation can be gained or lost. Give up some of your hard-earned credits and keep peace with the Empire, or keep them all and get a wanted status. The developers discussed being wanted, and it sounded a lot like the Grand Theft Auto games. The higher your wanted level, the more you'll have to deal with. You can see the wanted level rising as Kay blasts TIE fighters during her escape, bringing in reinforcements courtesy of a Gazanti-class Imperial freighter. The dogfighting looked okay, not quite as dynamic as Star Wars Squadrons, but that game was all about dogfighting, and here it's just a piece of the whole. The developers said we'll experience small-scale fights like this all the way up to large-scale battles like we saw in the trailer. We can see Kay's ship, called the Trailblazer, has missiles, turrets, a repair system, shields, and a health bar. The developers described Kay as a new pilot, so I expect this is another area of the game we can improve upon and upgrade to fit our styles. She escapes the Empire into hyperspace, headed for Akiva, and the fact that the journey from Toshara to the New World happened seamlessly was fantastic. There was a little loading video that played as Kay boarded the Trailblazer, but that was the only thing I noticed as the player transitioned from foot to speeder bike to space. Also, the fact that Akiva is in this game is pretty cool. It plays a significant role in the first Aftermath book. The rest of the trailer plays out with a montage of shots of various planets we'll get to see, and they look pretty great. Lots of variety, they all feel unique, some I recognize and some I don't, which is what I want. Sure, let's go back to Tatooine, or explore Kijimi for ourselves, that's exciting, but I'm glad we'll also be expanding the Star Wars galaxy instead of completely relying on familiar territory. All in all, this is still looking pretty great to me. I said after the trailer that open world games aren't always my favorite, but Outlaws is winning me over pretty quickly. I love that we'll be playing a scoundrel instead of a Jedi to give this game a unique feel from the Star Wars Jedi games. The reputation system sounds really interesting, and I think the various decisions we make will help with replayability. The gameplay still feels largely like my style as a third-person action-adventure. We don't know a ton about the story yet, but one of the developers mentioned Kay having to ask herself how far she's willing to go to land this big score at the center of everything, which easily feels like it fits within Star Wars and its themes. I know some fans have been wondering if there would be a multiplayer element, but Outlaws was described specifically as a single-player action-adventure game, so I would guess not. But that's everything I can say about Star Wars Outlaws for now. I'm excited about it. Hopefully it won't be too late in 2024. I was crossing my fingers for a release date or a month or a quarter or something to be given today, but that's alright. The developer video mentioned more information to come at San Diego Comic-Con in July. For now, let me know what you think about the Outlaws gameplay in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for all our continuing Outlaws coverage, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.